What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel for another exciting episode of GRAVESIGHT Just Starts talking about some crazy stuff. But today is going to be a special episode because what I really want to do is share with you all the details that I can remember from my UFO experience and something that has like really scared me. We're going to be going over like everything here, the whole story of what happened. This is a very long time ago, as a matter of fact, when I was, I think, I'm going to say anywhere, I was probably like 10, 11, or 12, somewhere around there, all right? And I remember this very distinctly. I remember like around what time it was, about 11 o'clock at night. And you're probably wondering like, what is a 12-year-old doing at like 11 o'clock at night or something like that? Well, I was with my two best friends at the time. We're not going to go their last names, but it was my friend Sean and my friend Billy, okay? And we were hanging out in like schools. I'm not going to tell you like necessarily what school or where, whatever, but I could take you, like right now, I remember so much, I could take you to the exact spot in which we were chilling. We were chilling on some benches, I remember, because it was nighttime, and that was like the thing to do in summer, is like, you know, hey, I'm gonna stay the night at Sean's house, and then Sean would say he's gonna stay the night at Billy's house. We basically do like a Stand By Me thing, you know what I'm saying? If you've ever seen the movie Stand By Me and how those kids were so clever. And we'd also have some pictures up here of some triangle spaceships, and I want to try to find one of these that is gonna be best relatable to my story. So basically this is it. We were hanging out. I don't know what day it was, but I remember it was around 11 o'clock, this because I used to always carry around a watch back in the day. There was no like cell phones back then, so you really wouldn't have that. You'd have like a wristwatch or something like that. And then I remember us seeing something that would probably be best explained coming from the east, okay? I know this because I know what direction. Now, to explain like what type of night that was that night, it was very low clouds, okay? If you've ever been in a situation where you're like, okay, the clouds are like really low, that's like, they seem like they were very low, like probably 300, maybe 400 feet. At least that's what it seemed like of what I remember. And this is something that we seen is like, one of my friends was like, what is that, okay? And this is what we saw. We've seen a humongous triangle like spaceship, and I could try to find something in here that's like resemblance of it, like maybe something like this is best, but it had a lot more lights on the bottom. It had like green, blue, red, yellow, all different types of lights were on the bottom, like right here. And it was very low clouds, and it looked like it was on like the very like in the clouds. It was like in the clouds, okay? We could distinctly see like this thing. It almost looked like, you know, Independence Day or something like that, one of those big spaceships. And this thing was humongous. I could probably guesstimate somewhere around probably 300 feet. It was absolutely humongous because it wasn't that far away from us, it seemed. And something that also that like struck us is the fact that, yeah, it was coming towards us, but it was not going as fast as like a plane would go across the sky. It went super slow. And the one thing that freaked us out is because it was like getting closer, necessarily coming our way, and then all of a sudden, then this is what like we knew that this was like a spaceship or something like that, because automatic, well, no sound. Can't hear it whatsoever. I don't care if like a plane is going like super far, you know, in the sky above you. You can normally hear the engine or something of that plane, okay? I've been outside many of times, and I know what a plane sounds like. And a lot of the things that I've seen here recently do not have any sound, which I'll get into that later. But basically, this is the thing right here that like sparked all my interest. And besides all the fact of all the books and everything that they had back when I was younger about spaceships and about all this stuff, which wasn't very much, not like it is today, not like it's being disclosed today. So, you know, we can figure out finally what's going on, that they have these non-human bodies. They have re-engineered spacecraft and technology that is going to change the face of our planet. But like, that's the one thing that we've seen this thing coming towards us. And yeah, once again, it kind of looked like that spaceship right there, but it was huge, had a lot more lights, and it was right like on the bottom of the clouds, like to where we could see the lights and we could see the shape. It was a triangle shape. And one of the things that it did is it automatically, and it wasn't even going that fast, like when it was just looked like it was kind of hovering, maybe going 25 miles an hour or something like that, or well, maybe a lot faster than that, maybe more like 50 or something like that, because I was young and I couldn't really judge, but I'm just remembering it in my mind. And this is a very long time ago, and this is burned like images into my mind. This is something that I don't think I'll ever be able to forget, because I remember the feeling that I felt in. I had two of my best friends with me. They've seen it too. Unfortunately, we can't get one of their testimonies because he's passed away, and the other one I'm not in contact with. But besides the fact, 90-degree turn, okay? Like, it's coming in just like this, and then all of a sudden it just goes meh, and it starts going this way off slow, and we like just stood there. I don't even remember us saying like anything besides from what my friend said earlier of like, what is that, or something like that. And it most definitely caught our attention. And another thing too, it was so late at night, there was no traffic out or anything like that. So I was almost wondering too, like, there had to have been somebody else to have seen something like that gigantic just hovering around or something like that. And that's something that's like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Fire in the Sky, but that's, Hollywood, their way of saying, telling Travis's story of him actually getting abducted. Now, did I get abducted? I don't think so, but we do remember that there was like lost time or something like that. I'm not saying that we were abducted because I have no remembrance of anything like that, but I do remember us staring at this thing for like a good while, because I remember looking at my clock like on my watch or something like that before, and it was like 11 o'clock or something like that. And yeah, this thing right here probably best explains it, something like this. If we could find any other pictures in here on Google that maybe somebody has made computer graphically wise, or something like that, but more lights, more colorful lights. You know what I'm saying? And it was low. Like, it was low enough. We could see the triangle shape, okay? There's nothing that, like, flies that slow and hovers, doesn't make a noise. Now, here's the thing, though, too, is, like, is it actually, or was it actually, like, space aliens or something like that? Well, now that I'm finding out about all this reverse engineered spacecrafts, and we have our own. This has already been documented. There's already proof about it. Don't believe me? Go watch a documentary by Dr. Stephen Greer called Acknowledged. And then we'll have a conversation after you go ahead and watch that documentary, because at this point, I am more than a far believer. And you got to like wrap your head around this too for a second. You're like, how come we've been using the same type of technologies for the last more than 100 years, okay? 1908, I believe, was like the first time the gas engine or something was created by, I don't know what company, whether it was like GM or something like that, but it was created, and there was a conspiracy too to kill the electric car, because if you can imagine 100 years or more than 100 years of us advancing our electrical cars and not spewing out toxic fumes everywhere that we go, okay? And it doesn't matter even if you drive an electrical car, because you're still contributing. Where do you have to get your energy from? You're still getting your energy from either three, like, basically power sources, which we're still using. And we haven't come up with anything better, basically, since the Industrial Revolution, which is what, my friends, can you name it? Which is going to be fossil fuels, nuclear power, and coal, okay? These are all very, very dirty powers, and all they do is keep polluting our planet. There's got to be a point where we stop spending so much money on our, I would say everybody's military industrial complex of we have to spend trillions upon trillions of dollars. There's like more money getting spent every year on the US's military than all of the companies in the United States like make together. If you can try to wrap your mind around that, there's trillions of dollars being spent every single year to make weapons on killing each other. And this is crazy in my mind. Like, no, ask yourself this. You're like, do you really want to go into a battlefield where bullets are getting shot at you, or grenades are getting thrown at you and stuff like that? Or can we finally just get along and potentially, learn to be peaceful, learn to solve all of our economical problems by, like, researching and putting more research into this 0-point gravity. This is the thing that, like, Nikola Tesla was working on, and a lot of others that have been, their research taken, either black shelved or they have been assassinated. Don't believe me? Go watch another documentary called The Lost Century and How to Reclaim It. Once again, by another person, which is Dr. Stephen Greer. Very awesome man when it's coming to this point of, you know, trying to bring things out with the UFO and stuff like that. And I'm just sitting here trying to share with you like one of my experiences when I was a little kid. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen like Fire in the Sky. That movie really freaked me out, but Hollywood really twisted it, just like Hollywood has been doing ever since, I would say, Roswell. If you can connect the dots, okay? Let's answer a couple questions here. Let's ask a couple questions and then I'll answer them. Okay, question number 1. How many good aliens can you think of right off the top of your head besides from like maybe Paul, E.T., doesn't really get much, I don't know. There's probably more, right? I'm sure there's more good aliens out there. I'm a good alien in Grand Theft Auto 5, but think about how many bad aliens that they've portrayed, you know what I'm saying? Like, we got Predator, we got like aliens, we got like any other type of alien that ever has been a movie made about. They have made it to where they've made these aliens look hostile because they are brainwashing us. Listen, if there was any hostile aliens out there, it would be checkmate, set, and done, my friends. They would turn our planet into a little blue mist, and that would be it. That would be the end of humans. And if you think that they're going to be letting us go into outer space with our nuclear weapons, that's another thing from my research that they are very concerned about. So yeah, this is like what the alien spaceship kind of looked like, but once again, more lights. No, not this one right here, okay? And then once again, is it a man-made one? My thoughts now that potentially it's going to be more up the line of being a man-made, you know, spaceship that me and my friend seen, and wasn't an alien spaceship, which we have to know the difference between the two, okay? One are like, the aliens are like, basically you could almost think of them of like interdimensional, okay? They can blip out and they can blip in and stuff like that, but I don't think that, you know, I don't know. There's been a lot of documents and other stuff that I've researched and looked at to where, yeah, we have these things. They're being made by companies like Lockheed Martin Skunk Works. That's one of them right there. Look that name up, okay? And they are definitely involved with the re-engineering of downed, crashed, not crashed, because there's been proof that we have the technology to interfere with their flying systems and they don't crash. We shoot them down, okay? And we shoot them down on purpose. Why? Because we want their technology, not I, but the more evil people that want to use it instead of good, use it for evil, which every single one of these technologies that we have re-engineered has been weaponized, okay? You could almost give them anything and they'll weaponize it, right? You give them a number 2 pencil and you tell them to write something down. No, they're going to take the number 2 pencil, they're going to sharpen it, and they're going to turn it into like some sort of shank because that's their mentality, okay? Because it's like basically boils down to power, money, you know, and resources, right? Yeah. So anyways, from there, you guys, yeah, this would be a really good one right here, too. Like, well, this is a computer or whatever. And once again, it didn't have, like, the far lights here. It had a lot more lights of what I can remember, too. Now, recently, during this summertime, I go out for all types of different walks at nighttime. And I'm telling you, there's been quite a many incidences. It has to either be a UFO or a man-made spaceship that I am seeing lately, which is another thing that's kind of weird, is where I live, I don't know, but it's a little bit fishy when you think about it, and it could just be like weather, and this goes into more like, you know, it could be conspiracy, but it could not be conspiracy because it could be truth too, that they actually have weather controlling devices that control weather, because it's like, how come at like daytime, blue skies, but nighttime, gray skies, can't see anything beyond the clouds because they want to block it out? I don't know. You guys ever hear of the ping test on the moon? Check that out before, where we've actually crashed something into the moon and it's made a reverberation like a bell. The first test, it reverberated like it was hollow for an hour. Now, the second test that we did, we crashed something even more harder into it, and guess what? The moon reverberated just like a bell just like it's hollow potentially, because there's other stuff that I could get into as well. Lots of different types of ideas here, but I'm telling you, with my experience and just going out at night and looking up, and you know, they say if you put your thumb up in the air at nighttime, you're blocking out like billions of stars just with the tip of your thumb. And you think that we are absolutely surrounded with trillions and trillions of stars, and you're gonna lie to yourself saying that, yep, we're the only ones, because you've been either brainwashed or you haven't been given the necessary knowledge, which is why would they want you to know about this? They want you to continuously keep working and paying bills and worry about that, living month to month, worrying about a mortgage or something like that. Well, let me tell you, my friends, if you looked it up and you looked at any interview for any astronaut that has gone into outer space and has come back, they get super depressed. Let me tell you why they get super depressed. Because all of our problems here seem very minute when you're looking at the grand scale, which nobody is really at, which is why these days we are more than being suppressed spiritually, mentally, financially, and they are trying to just work us to death, which they've been doing for many generations. I was born into it. My parents were born into it. My parents' parents were born into this system. And this system, my friends, needs to change, because there's technology out there that can change the world, that I feel, and disclosures happening already, as you can see. Which, just go ahead and turn on the news, because there's tons of UFO stuff right now that the government has been lying to us about, and now they're coming out with it. Well, now it's time for it to happen, and hopefully I'll be able to get my vision fixed and my hearing, because I was born with some really bad vision. I would like to get that fixed so I can know what it's like to see what a normal person you know, does, and also get my hearing fixed from the head injury that I got into when I was a young lad. But anyways, from there, you guys, I just wanted to go ahead and just share this experience with you and talk about some other things about this whole UFO stuff, because it's very exciting for me to know about all this stuff, and just to think too, like, it's almost depressing thinking that we're never going to be interstellar. We're never going to be able to go to other planets. There's no other races out there to interact with and be peaceful and move on. You know what I'm saying? And like actually help each other out. I don't know. I might be crazy, but I might be onto something here. So anyways, from there, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. My name is GRAVESIGHT, and I will see you in the next one. So peace.